Welcome to Digital Teaching. Getting started putting your course online. This video is an outline of how you can redesign your course for online teaching. We will look at the following topics. Why can't I just put my contact lectures online? How long should the videos or podcasts be? Achieving the same outcomes? The students' learning styles? Universal design principles? Decide how you want to teach the course, communicate and engage with the students, and lastly, a bouquet of options, not just a nice to have, but a necessity. You may be asking yourself why you can't just put your contact course online. Well, an online course is very different from a contact course, so you have to design it differently. You have different challenges you would not necessarily have in a contact course. Students cannot be held captive in a room. You have to make sure that you hold their attention. And students are easily distracted. And since the invention of Netflix and YouTube, you have to almost grab them by the eyes in order to hold their attention. Students may also struggle with time management, and you have to design your course in such a way that you can guide them through these stumbling blocks. So how long should the videos or podcasts be? Your videos or podcast cannot be 45 minutes long. It is common for lectures to be 45 minutes or even longer. In class, you can take steps to ensure that your students stay focused throughout the entire class. You can use class discussions or group work or anything. Videos or podcasts for online learning must, unfortunately, be short. Students should be able to stay focused for the entire duration of the video. Students may not want to watch an hour-long video for a myriad of reasons. They can have limited data, distractions at home, boredom, and boredom is probably one of the biggest factors here. Videos and podcasts should be around 5 minutes. This rule is flexible, but if you're going to bend it, make sure it's for a good reason. At the end of this video, I will show you how to adhere to the guidelines and redesign your course. Students must still achieve the exact same outcomes for an online course than they do for a contact course. Just because your course is online does not mean that certain portions of the course can just be skipped. Now, I know this is difficult in certain practical courses, but I'm talking about the theory, okay? So if you need your students to have discussions, let it take place online. If you're teaching in a synchronous mode, you can have it live. If you're teaching in an asynchronous mode, make sure that you encourage your students to have their discussions in a chat room or an online forum or something like that. If your students need to do group work, have them use a WhatsApp group or House Party, that nice video chat app where you can invite a bunch of friends. Remember that your students can collaborate using Google Docs. And remember, this is the time to be creative. You now have the opportunity to actually design a creative course. Your students all have their own learning styles and preferences. In this case, one size does not fit all. Make sure that you respect the student voice and choice. Where possible, have your students choose how they learn, but remember, you still have to make provision for those students who are in the minority. Your online course can be a barrier in your students' learning. Try to solve the problem. Don't add to it. If you ignore your students' needs and you don't listen to them, they will not be willing or able to give their best. One way to ensure you meet their needs is to apply the universal design principle when designing your course. The 7 principles of universal design are equitable use. It has to be usable by people of different abilities. Second, flexibility in use. It must be able to accommodate a wide range of individual preferences and abilities. Number 3, simple and intuitive. It must be easy to understand and to follow. Number 4, perceptible information. It must be able to communicate necessary information effectively to the user. 5. Tolerance for error. Minimize adverse consequences of accidental actions. 6. Low physical effort. It should be used effectively with minimum fatigue. And lastly, size and space for approach and use. Now, granted that these principles are generally used in the design of park benches, staircases, or doors, it can, however, be applied to the design of a course. The universal design for instruction is based on these 7 principles, but I like to use the original universal design in combination with the Center for Universal Designs in Education's 7 steps. Number 1, identify the course. What are the outcomes and the objectives of this course? Number 2, define the universe. Who are your students? What are their abilities? What are their learning styles? 3, involve the students. Think of the students' learning experience from their perspective. If possible, ask students how they would like to learn. 4, adopt instructional strategies. Integrate learning philosophies and methods in the design of the course. 5, apply instructional strategies. Use good instructional strategies when developing the curriculum, assessments, even when developing classes. 6, plan for accommodations. How will you ensure that your course accommodates students with different learning styles? How will you accommodate students with different means? How will you accommodate students with different abilities? Students who do not have access to broadband data, very strong internet, computers, cell phones. And lastly, evaluate. Monitor the effectiveness of your course. Ask for feedback and change what needs to be changed. Once the students tell you this is not working, change it. An application of the universal design principle in redesigning a contact course for an online course must take a lot of things into consideration. Think of the students who are visual learners. They may want to watch a video, even if it is a video of a PowerPoint. Think of the students who are auditory learners. They may only want to listen to a podcast of the class. Think of the students who have limited resources and may want to only use the PowerPoint slides, or who may want to use a transcript of the lecture. And then there are students who are a combination of all of these. A combination of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learners. They may want the choice to jump from reading a transcript of one aspect to watching a video of another aspect. Remember also that there may be students in your class who have disabilities. A universal design approach can prevent you from introducing yet another barrier in their learning. You have to provide a bouquet of options to your students. They can then choose how they want to learn. You may feel that this is overkill and you may be overwhelmed at this stage. But remember, in most cases, your students also did not choose to study online all of a sudden. They may not have the necessary devices or infrastructure or even the ability to use high-tech content. But that does not mean that the students who can access high-tech content should be barred from doing so. This must be their choice. Decide how you want to teach the course. Do you want to use a synchronous method or an asynchronous method? Now, there is a video in this series already discussing this, and I will provide the link in the card above. Communicate and engage with your students. It is important to engage with your students regularly. They have to know what is going on. They have to know what is going to happen, and they have to know what is expected of them at all times. If they feel that there is a lack of communication, or if they feel that they are lost, they can start to feel anxious, frustrated, or demotivated. And if they are well informed, they will learn better and they will learn more. Use online office hours. Use email or chat rooms optimally. The process that I suggest to redesign your course and still ensure that you meet the needs of all your students is as follows. A useful trick is to take the PowerPoint presentations for your current contact classes and break them up into smaller portions. Focus on the concepts you want to teach and frame them in the form of CAN competencies. For example, at the end of this video, I can convert my contact course to an online course. Make a short PowerPoint presentation on each of these concepts. Save the file and indicate that it is a PowerPoint presentation. Then add narration to the PowerPoint. Teach the class and save the file as a PowerPoint file with narration. Then you can export the narrated PowerPoint as a video. Save the video and indicate that this is the video version of that same class. You take that video and you can upload it to YouTube. You can make it unlisted if you want, if you don't want randoms accessing your content. What you can then do is you can download an MP3 version of the video, save that MP3 version, and then once you upload your video to YouTube, YouTube will automatically generate subtitles. What you can do is you can export the subtitles and you can edit them to make sure that they're correct, save it as a Word document or a PDF document, and now you have a transcript of the video. You can upload the content. This means everything: the PowerPoint with narration, the video, the audio of the class, and the transcript of the class. And then you add in an activity. This can be a couple of concept checking questions, it can be a forum discussion, or it can be something creative like uploading a picture. Now you have 5 versions of the same concept class. PowerPoint presentation with narration, video of narrated PowerPoint, audio of PowerPoint narration, and a transcript of the video. Leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. Thank you. And that's all. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe for more videos.